Why financial well-being drives corporate well-being. There's an unprecedented opportunity for companies to improve well-being, to retain talent and attract that next generation of leaders. It's a perfect storm. Employees have acute financial needs. Employers are best positioned to help. By doing so, the company will benefit financially. And with technology reducing admin, it's never been easier. So what is it that people want from their finances? Well, for me personally, money has always meant security and freedom, that ability to pay for and to do what I needed to look after myself. It offered me that sense of control in an otherwise chaotic world, that come what may, I'd be able to tackle it. And our world really has been turned upside down in recent years. That trust that people had in financial institutions was shaken during the global debt crisis. And we've similarly seen a loss of faith in our political leaders. People want to take back control, and we've been finding that money has been one of the first areas they want to focus on. It's the area where that need is felt most acutely in everything they do. When they fill up their grocery baskets at the supermarket and find the same items are costing them more. When they put petrol in their cars and see the price tick up on that meter to beyond what they were hoping for. Families are getting to the end of each month and they don't know where their hard-earned salary has gone. And on ITV's Each Shop Save, we very much saw that was the case. But this alone isn't the problem, it's the lack of a way out. Now at Moolah, we commissioned some research to reveal what it is that people were talking about when it came to their money. And the results were overwhelming. Out of 18 million online discussions over the past year, half were calls for help. What to do with their money, when, how, where, why. The lack of places where people can go to for help is startling. And the problem ends up lying at the feet of a company's HR department. Already stretched, we're hearing how they, you, are the go-to source of information and exhausted by being, and you're exhausted by being targeted with people's questions. Now, traditionally, financial advisors can be called upon to step in. However, there's a limited amount in the UK. AXA Wealth estimates that there's one advisor to every 2,700 people. Now, people are struggling, on the other hand, to then help themselves due to a dramatic lack of financial literacy. Even with our most popular savings account, ISAs, individual savings accounts it stands for, 9 out of 10 people that were surveyed by Barclays didn't know how much they were allowed to save, and we saw this at Moolah as well. People would say, I can't have an ISA, I don't have £20,000 ready to invest, without realising that's actually the maximum amount, and you can actually invest, you can actually save any amount up till that point. And it's not their fault. Financial services are full of jargon and obstacles rather than being understandable, simple and accessible. There's also an issue of fit. And this is fascinating. Historically, there have been just 2 choices. Do it yourself or find someone to do it for you. However, there's a new trend emerging, do it with you. And we've seen this with the rise of of digital solutions, built to solve problems and enable people to live better lives. The British Banking Association predicts that the demand for digital will mean that 90% of all UK banking will be carried out online by 2020, and that's not that far away. And why is this? Because people value control, flexibility, access, ease of use, and transparency. They want services that enable, guide, and empower them. And if you listen carefully, the government's making the same noises. There's a move away from the nanny state and a shift of responsibility back to the individual. The government won't finance your retirement for you, and people are struggling to achieve their financial goals themselves, so there's a need for employers to help, and it wouldn't be surprising if the government then started to enforce some of that. Because employee benefits are evolving. Benefits as we know them are changing. Employers are more interested in programs that appeal to their lifestyle rather than their future. Demand for flexible working, the ability to buy and sell holiday, and savings in lieu of a pension is surprisingly high, and these benefits are highly valued by employees. This stands in stark contrast to traditional programs on offer, which focus much more on fixed future support, such as insurance, if something goes wrong with your health in the future, and pensions. But just as good physical health is important, so is good mental health. Barclays found that more than half of employees worry about their finances, and 1/5 of them lose sleep over it. And this goes beyond people that are struggling with debt. The CIPD discovered that 58% of employees face barriers in managing their finances as well as they'd like. And importantly, for those in HR, the research also showed that 1 in 5 employees want financial guidance from their employer. Employees are turning to you for more help more frequently than ever before. But as an industry, we really struggle with making finance appealing. Tips to cut down spending is one thing, but what to do with the money once it's been saved is completely different. At the other end of the scale, pensions have struggled to gain widespread appeal, which the Chancellor admitted was down to them being too complicated and inflexible in last year's budget. So how do we make planning for the future appealing? Financial well-being could be the solution. The beauty of financial well-being is that as a lifestyle benefit, life events act as short-term motivators, but actually for long-term rewards. Now, when major events happen in people's lives, that's the time that they place importance and value on achieving a longer-term goal. Now, I remember when I came back from university and I got my first job, that's when I started to think about how to get onto the property ladder. And likewise, when I had my first child, when I had Dexter, I looked at this little human being, I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have to send him to university and that's gonna cost quite a bit of money. So all of a sudden, that very long-term goal became incredibly pressing and I felt the need to do something about it now. But going back to property and about building a future brick by brick, home ownership in the UK has fallen to a 30-year low, and that is startling for a country that places so much value on it. This is in contrast to Europe, where culturally, renting is more like a norm. So young people still want the security of owning their own home. They just can't afford the deposit and the fees required to do so. And while we're aware of the reasons behind this trend, such as house prices increasing more than salaries, the reaction of employees is less well known until now. Benefex, together with Barclays, identified that they're not just looking for advice, but monetary assistance. 42% want benefits that help with a mortgage deposit, but only 2% of employers are actually providing this. But there's good news, and it can be a benefit for all. At their core, financial goals show a desire for security, a roof over my head, freedom to send my children to university, so I can sleep well at night. Positioned this way, the ability to put money away so I can maintain a level of lifestyle when I stop working, but all on my own terms, is much more appealing. Moreover, the way to achieve these goals is simple too. With coaching, setting aside some payroll, and growing these savings, a wide range of needs and aspirations can actually be supported. And it's not just employees that benefit, the whole company can too. With 1 in 4 employees admitting that financial worries have impacted their ability to do their job, a study identified that the loss of productivity from poor financial well-being can impact the bottom line, can hit profitability by 4%. In contrast, helping employees, there can be far-reaching benefits for the employer as well. Healthier employees contribute to reduced absenteeism, lower healthcare costs, reduced stress, and much more. Helping employees achieve financial milestones that they thought were out of reach and creating this culture of well-being and engagement can increase the firm's likability and attract the leaders of tomorrow. Moreover, lifestyle benefits with longer-term goals can help retain existing talent. This offers a competitive advantage with compelling return on investment. As saving for a deposit for a house will usually take multiple years, support offered encourages staff to stay. This cuts recruitment and training costs for replacing staff, as well as allowing potentially for a reduced intake as staff hired are more likely to be retained. Attractive benefits that resonate and fit people's needs will increase take-up rates and drive greater alignment of interest across the firm. So imagine offering a benefit that exceeds employee expectations because you're helping them achieve something that they thought was out of reach. Imagine offering them a benefit that makes a tangible difference to their lives and helps the company become more profitable in the process. Moreover, with simple digital integrations such as single sign-on and queries handled, admin is minimized to beat HR expectations as well. So, the bottom line, Money underlies every decision that we make in life, as well as impacting how we feel and how we perform at work. People crave security and freedom, the knowledge that they can do or have what they need in order to sleep well at night. Flexibility and a degree of control in how their payroll is distributed. Coaching that takes them from saving to achieving these events, and improving their lifestyle with monetary contributions is the order of the day. Fortunately, technology can help reduce admin, and online and offline communication can raise awareness. A culture of well-being and engagement can attract the leaders of tomorrow, and longer-term goals can aid retention, cut costs for a compelling return on investment. Financial well-being, improving both employee and corporate well-being. To find out more, check out www.moo.la/employers.